Hello guys, this is Ratu498 and this is a couple of games for you here. This is the first one, it's a 1v1 game. Basically this is part of my little gold kind of series thing that I'm going to do, trying to get to gold 10. This is me getting to gold level 2. This is against a guy called Shogun of Doom. My build here, I've got a couple of Bocav. I've got a Waco Raiders, a Lone Sword, a Yari and a 2 light cav units. My opponent's got a lot of sword attendants. He's got about 4 sword attendants, a katana, samurai, and a couple of Naginata attendants as well, general and 2 monk cav. So that's my opponent's build. So my plan is to basically try and use my bow cav effectively to start with, try and get their numbers down, get rid of their better units before I have to attack. So here's his 2 monk cav over on this side. They've come across the river already. And basically I'm going to charge a light cav unit in, and then after the light cav unit goes in, my bows are going to fire off. I'm also going to rush some spears up as well. I'm not sure I'd do it quick enough, to be honest. But my bow cav are going to be firing in a second on these units. They're monk units, so low armour on the monk units. So very easy to kill them with the arrows. And here comes my Yari unit. And they're going to come in. These are basically my opponent's 2 best units, apart from his katana samurai. So if I can get rid of these, then I stand a really good chance of winning this battle. So my Yari managed to get in there, and my bows are still firing off. I managed to kill quite a few of each of the cav units, down to about half strength, both of them, around 26 odd, something like that. And my other light cav unit now is going to rush across the river, just basically try and chase them down. My bow cav are going to follow, and they're now going to start chasing them off, and they're going to basically just start taking some pot shots at them, trying to get them down as much as possible. Bow cav in these low fun games are really effective, especially if you're playing against people who take lots of monks, because you can use them straight from the start, running forward and shoot them and chase people, so they're really effective in these low fun games. So in my Waco Raiders, I did have them across the river, but my guy's deciding to move across the river now. As with my other units, I'm really not doing much. I'm just going to use these bow cav to start with to try and take out these cav units. And they're doing a really good job at it as well. My other light cav unit's going to charge in now, and they should be able to finish this off, but my bow cav will turn around and start shooting at them as well. So that's my bow cav firing off another volley into them. And now my opponent's now crossing the river, so I'm going to have to reform up, and I'm going to have to try and face him now. Killing his cav off gives me a huge advantage, because I think that was where his strength probably lay, in the fact that he could hammer and anvil with those units, and pretty decent cav as well, so getting rid of them was quite important. So I'm going to form up in a second again. My Wacos are walking hidden, so my opponent doesn't know I've got them at the moment. Scary looking bastards, aren't they? Some of them are wearing dressing gowns by the looks of it. Lovely. So my opponent's going to have his Naginata attendants in front, his sword attendants behind that, and his katana sam. I believe he's going to try and outflank me. My bow cav are now going to come over on this side. They're going to come to the front. And as soon as you run them into range, they fire at the nearest target, which is kind of stupid. I didn't take the fire at will off. So they're shooting at the Naginata attendants until I click them to fire at the katana samurai, which are the units in the rear. So they're basically going to start shooting at the katana samurai. Need to get those katana sams down as much as possible. They're the best units they've got left, so I'm going to take shots at them. My cav unit is behind my opponent now, and it's going to come in from behind in a bit. I'm going to try and take out his general with it when I get a chance. So my bow cav are running off because the spears are coming. I'm going to position them onto the flank, one in the flank and one behind, so I get to shoot at various units. Pull my Yari forward. They've got hold firm on them, I believe. And then my sword units will come in to support. My general has some low rank, no point having a leadership general, so my general's a melee general at the moment, so he's pretty decent. But he hasn't got any of the bonuses like resistance to spears or anything like that yet at the moment. So the sword attendants, I didn't form a spear wall. It just wouldn't let me do it. It really wouldn't, so I just thought I'll sod it in the end. So I'm going to have to use hold firm pretty early, just basically to stay alive, because without the spear wall, these Yaya Shigaru get destroyed pretty quick. I've got no retainers, so really they're pretty crap. My cav unit came in the back, tried to charge against the general, gets kind of destroyed by a Naginata attendant over there. My bow firing in. And the good thing about these bow units as well, if you take out your opponent's cav, you can use them to skirmish, you can use them to positionally weaken opponents where you're losing, or you can use them like this with a little hammer and anvil whenever you need to. So they're really handy units. As you can see, the amount of damage they're going to do here. Just coming in the back. They basically win this flank for me, as you can see there. Just one quick cav charge in the rear. They're quite cheap as well. They're about 700. These mounted samurai, they are, not so. But they're about 700, so they're not too bad. And I managed to get them out as well. His general's in there. This game ends pretty abruptly. But this is pretty much already over anyway. My general's going to do a bit of damage in a minute as well, coming down. But this is pretty much the end of this battle now. I believe it ends in a second, but as you can see, my opponent's done already now. He loses his general. He sends in his last unit outside, his Naginata attendants. He's just got his Katana Samurai down there fighting, but they were quite depleted. They're down to about 60-something men, so... my general goes in for hammer and anvil, then the game ends. So this was a good game to my opponent. This was me getting to level 2. It was, and the next game I believe is me getting to level 3, and it is a 2v2 with a clanmate of mine called Chris, lol, and we are fighting Korba and Akai Kaden, I believe his name is. These guys, notorious monk spammers, so best way to counter a monk spam, a couple of bow-cav, skirmish the crap out of them till they're weak enough so you can beat them. So I've got 2 bow-cav, 1 Naginata warrior monk, a decent Naginata warrior monk, and I also have a monk cav as well. So my opponent's, as I knew he would, has brought all monk army, which is perfect for me. He's got no skirmish units, and my monk cav will be able to beat his monk cav, I hope. So as soon as I get rid of his cav, I should be pretty easy. Chris has got a fire cav, and also a couple of Naginata samurai. And he's got a melee general with bow ability, so he can fire with him as well. So my monk cav go into my opponent's monk cav as well. I believe it was monk cav. Oh, is it fire cav? I thought, oh no, I think my opponent's got some fire cav there. So, but we're going to do a decent enough job with the bows going to fire in as well. There's really no hope for him. And I managed to get my Naj Sams down there. And over on this side we've got Korba, and he is doing a decent enough job at the moment on Chris's fire cav. He's got a couple of his monks down there fighting with him. And over here you see my cav has destroyed his cav, so that's job done. And now just go basically skirmishing. This replay is glitched. I'll show you how it's glitched in a second. It didn't affect anything in the game, but I'll show you how it's glitched. That unit, that cav unit there, is actually routed. So that cav unit doesn't exist, and in the minute it just goes and stands idly around and does absolutely bloody nothing, so you'll see how it doesn't exist. So Chris is using his bow general at the moment, and he's shooting in. I've got my Naginata warrior monks, and they're fighting his Naginata warrior monks. Mine are actually better quality, I think. I mean, realistically, they are. They're better quality. So mine should be able to win that battle, but I haven't got any of the retainers that give me any morale or anything like that, so I believe his have got better morale, so they'll probably be able to outlast me. Especially with another monk unit going to come in, and they're going to whack in from the side and behind. But my bow cav are firing off the whole time, which is doing a decent enough job for me. I'm happy with that, because I'm just windling their numbers down, and it's basically like a turkey shoot, really, with these bow cav. As you can see, the amount of arrows pouring in, and they're doing a decent enough job killing them off. Very expensive monk units. More and more getting killed off. But now you see a problem with my monks are going to rout away. Over here, Chris has got his Naginatas, I believe. They're samurai, are they? Yeah, Naginata samurais over there, and they're going to do a decent enough job as well, but they're going to hold out for long enough. I'm going to send my bow cav across to him in a second. I managed to route one of his units away, but this also is glitched. That monk unit also routes away, so that monk unit doesn't exist either. So these replays were a nightmare. I will continue to record them live, but I just didn't have any time during these games at all to do any kind of commentary or anything on them live, so it caused me a bit of a problem. So one of my cav and one of my monks, just ignore them. They're non-existent. And my bow cav down here are just going to shoot and toddle off and run away. And they're just going to do that for a little while until this guy's dwindled down enough. Over on this side, you've got Chris's general, who's gone in for melee. He's got resistance to spears and everything like that on him. Chris is a 10-star silver, I believe. So he has got a fully experienced up melee bow general. And down here, the Naginata Samurai are doing a decent enough job. My bow cav are now coming and they're going to take some pot shots at these monks. As I keep saying, these low funds, these bow cav are so effective. They really are. I don't agree with people running around for like time with them or using them in particularly running around just to win games. But for what they are, they do a really good job. And they do. As see, if people are stupid enough to bring monk spams, then that's really their choice. And they're going to have to expect that people are going to use any kind of tactic really to defeat them. Any tactic that really works. As you can see, this bow cav destroying these units as well, pretty nice. I've got my general over there now as well. Probably should have charged my general in with a hammer and anvil, but didn't really make too much difference. As you can see, my cav unit on the top of the screen is actually dead in the real game, and the monk unit on the hill is also dead in the real game, so they're not going to move anymore now. They're just sitting where they're sitting. All the other units still exist. So my cav is still firing on these bows now. Corba and Caden are going to run to the forest, which really ain't going to make any bloody difference. We had no intention of chasing them around. If they wanted to attack us, we wouldn't have run away. But they decided they wanted to run to the forest. Corba's general is now in melee with one of my bow cav, so kind of stupid by me there. As you can see, these units, they're still doing nothing, so just completely ignore them. Yeah. Poor old monks were actually routed away, and the monk cav were also routed away. But they still exist. These replays are getting really annoying now with the way that they are. Hopefully the patch will fix them. I'm not holding my breath too much with the way that CA are working the game at the moment. It's kind of getting a little silly trying to play any kind of decent game with it. So I got 2 bow cav. Chris has got his unit with his general, who can fire as well. This game also ends pretty abruptly. In a few minutes after we do a little bit of skirmishing, Chris charges his general and then the game ends. But I have the final screen for you. So we're just going to skirmish. These guys have got their units into kind of like skirmish formation, where they're spread out, they're not so bunched up, so they're not going to get killed quite so easy. Isn't going to make any difference. I can sit here all day long and shoot them. I've got extra ammunition on these bow units, so I can just sit there all day long and shoot these guys. So it really makes no difference to me at all. So it's still just firing, and the units are getting depleted more and more and more. They're going to get depleted down to a point where they're going to be near ineffective no matter what they do. And Chris, as he's got the melee general, can charge into them, resistant to spears. He's going to do a huge amount of damage for that general when he wants to charge them. My general, I should probably, I mean, if we had to charge him, I'd just dismount my general. When you're fighting against spears and you've got a general, really dismount it. There's no, unless you've got resistance to spears, there's absolutely no point trying to charge them. Just dismount your general and fight him hand to hand. It's much easier. And you'll probably find your general will do a pretty decent job as well. I believe mine's got about 26 attacks, so he'll do a pretty good job on these guys. But there's no need for any of that. We're going to shoot them up. Chris is going to charge in. That'll be the end of the game. It's a good game of these guys. As I say, notorious monk spammers. These guys really, I mean, they can take. I've got some replays which are corrupt, so I can't post them. But they've got about 15, 16, 17 monks between the two of them, which is kind of ridiculous. So, but this is going to be the end of the battle now. So it's a good game to our opponents. Good game to Chris. Thank you for playing with me. And I hope everyone enjoyed the video. As I say, this is just a part of my getting the gold thing. So, but now it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me, as I've got number 3 rank. I'm now going to be playing on bigger size funds, so without the retainers it's going to cause me a huge problem. But we'll see how that turns out. So thank you very much, guys. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.